Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a little secret anti-griefing feature that Halo 4 has on the last level of the campaign, the mission Midnight. So, this anti-griefing feature is for when you're playing on co-op with as many as 4 players or as little as 2 players. So, as you know, during this part of the mission, whoever reaches the Didact first is the one that takes control of the final segment, where you have to do a few QuickTime events. So, during this segment, the game has a feature called a pup grief counter that it uses to keep track of how many times the person in control fails. So, as you know, if you miss a QuickTime event, you get knocked off by the Didact and you die, and that counts as one fail. So, if you keep failing over and over again, after about 5 failures, although I think one occasion we hit like 6 failures, but we might have miscounted, but after like 5 or 6 failures, the pup grief counter will kick in, and it will actually cycle through the list of players from players 1 to 4, and whoever is the current player in control, if they fail, it will pass it on to the next player on the list. So, as you can see here, I just failed 5 times there, and now, during the sequence, I no longer have the prompt on the screen to control my player. It doesn't say like, hold, this button to do that or whatever. I am no longer in control. In fact, control has been passed on to my friend KSBXR, who was doing co-op with me, and now he's in control. So that is the little feature during this part of the mission. During the Didact, quote-unquote, boss fight, the game is keeping track of how many times the current player fails. And if you fail enough, the game will pass it on to the next player, and so on and so on. Meaning that now, if my friend who's in control now, if he fails 5 or 6 more times, then the control will be passed on back to me, which you'll see in a bit. So, funnily enough, in the code for all this, where all this happens, which is how I noticed it, I was just kind of reading the script for this mission to kind of see like how certain things function. And there's a comment in the code written by a 343 developer. Once the switch kicks in, it will say, it says, "You have failed me for the last time." And then it switches to another player, which, as you can see here, just happened again, and now I'm in control again, and it says use certain buttons to perform certain actions. Now, you don't see that comment in game. That's just the developer comment left behind, so it's never shown in game. But if you read the script, it is there, and it'll say like, "You have failed me for the last time." Even though it's not really the last time, because it can cycle back to the original player that was in control, like you see here. So yeah, that about wraps it up for this video. It's just a tiny little feature that you might not have noticed before. Although, it's possible you might notice before, because if you or one of your friends in co-op, they actually try to grief you on this mission, then it would have kicked in. So maybe you did notice it. But for those of you who haven't noticed it, that's basically all there is to it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it to be interesting. If you did, make sure to leave a like, leave thoughts and comments, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!